The HLookup is the horizontal lookup function in Excel that searches data in a single row of a table horizontally, from the left to the right, and returns data from its intersecting column. In this tutorial, you will learn step by step how to use HLookup function to retrieve a set of data from a large table and use that data to create a dynamic chart. A dynamic chart is the kind of chart which is updated automatically as the underlying data of the chart changes. We will do this tutorial in 3 stages. In the first stage, we will learn how to use HLookup function to retrieve a specific set of data from a table or a data range. In the second stage, we will create a drop-down list to make it more convenient to retrieve data from the table. And finally, in the third stage, we will create the dynamic chart based on the data that we retrieve. Let's get started with the hands-on. Create the data table shown in the screen. The table contains the GDP of some top countries organized by years. Below the table, key in the following fields as shown on the screen. We will use HLookup function to fill in those fields with data retrieved from the GDP table. Once you are done with the table and the data fields, place your cell pointer to a cell next to the United States field. Type the HLookup function followed by an equal sign. For the lookup value argument, click the cell next to the Select Year field. For the table array argument, select the entire data table. Specify number 2 for the row index number argument as we want to retrieve the data from the second row of the table. For the optional range lookup argument, you can specify either approximate or exact match. Hit the Enter key from your keyboard to complete the formula. It will display the retrieved data in the cell. You can now drag to copy the formula in the other cell of the column instead of retyping the formula with all the parameters manually. But you must change the cell references used in the formula to absolute reference by selecting and pressing F4 key from the keyboard. You also need to change the row index number accordingly. You are now done with the HLookup function to retrieve data. Next, we will create a drop-down list so that we can select a year from the drop-down instead of typing the year manually. To create the drop-down list, select the cell next to the Select Year field. Make sure this is the same cell you specified for your lookup value previously. In the Data tab, from Data Tools group, click Data Validation. The Data Validation dialog box will appear. On the dialog box, make sure you are in the Setting tab. Select List for the validation criteria. For the source of your list, click the up arrow next to the text box. Highlight the range that contains years in your GDP table. Click back the arrow that is now shown downwards. It will bring back the Data Validation dialog box. Click OK button to complete the steps. You can now click arrow button to see the list of the years in the list box. As you select a year, HLookup function now should return the data for the selected year. Alright, we are now ready to create our dynamic chart as all the necessary pre-requirement to create the dynamic chart is now completed. Let's select the dataset that was written for a selected year. Click the Insert tab and on the Insert ribbon, from the chart group, select a chart type. You can select any chart type like bar chart, column chart, or pie chart, whichever matches your preference. Let's click Insert Column or Bar Chart. And from the drop-down, select Clustered Column Chart. Now you see a clustered column chart is inserted on your workbook. You can resize and customize the chart as you like. Let's test the chart to see how the chart is updated as we select different data. You can also edit the chart title to change the title accordingly. To do that, you have to select the chart title, And on the formula bar, type a equal sign followed by clicking the cell that contains the data that you want to display on the title. So that is the dynamic chart we have created using HLookup function. If you find the tutorial is useful, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Hope to see you soon again with another tutorial. Till then, happy learning. Goodbye.